Alright, welcome back. Last time we went ahead and conquered a small bit of Prussia. As well as, I guess, this province, or did we do that? I don't quite remember. Yeah. Let's get going. Alright, so for the time being, the current strategy is to get as many free cities as possible in order to increase the gain of imperial authority. That will take time, though. As well as trying to maintain as much secularism as possible in order to keep a tolerance of heretics high. That way, I can minimize the effects of having, well, the majority of my population being Protestant or Reformed. Although in actuality, it is mostly Reformed. Well, I would say Catholic is the largest population, with Reformed being a close second. Say 50% Catholic, 40% Reformed, the rest Protestant. Anyway, let's get this. The Quadrant, in 1631, Pierre Vernier invented the Quadrant, a device that could calculate angles inaccurate to 1 minute of arc. This level of accuracy gave a line of position within a nautical mile of the navigator's actual position, making both travel maps even more accurate than before. I can now so discontent, maximum range plus 25, trade range 100, unlocks the highway network, which is rather important, since that is the third level of the road, which improves stuff like trade and production within the province itself, but also improves communication, which is very important. However, I'm going to have to wait on building it, since I also need the money for other things, specifically the newly unlocked manufactories. In fact, I have one building in Praha right now. No. Not giving you that privilege. Especially when I so recently had to take it away. Oh. Dawn of the Age of Enlightenment. Following conflict and bloodshed, as well as the development of new scientific and ideological practices, the authority of religion has been shaken, and the truth of the world no longer seems as simple as it once did. Humans know more now than we ever have before, and yet the only thing that we are certain of is that there are so many answers yet to find. Nevertheless, each year sees new discoveries and ideas, and philosophers are no longer just developing traditions, but ideas and worldviews. With these developments happening in our country as well as across Europe, we have entered the Age of Enlightenment. Minus 5% tech cost. The developments of the Age of Enlightenment will be seen over time. So the modifier won't just stay that way. Possibly. It may end up doing something more. Who knows? I'm just running around hoping someone eventually makes global trade happen, so I can get manufactories spawned. Because globalized trade, despite being available for the last 23 years, still hasn't spawned. In order for it to spawn, someone has to have 2 merchants on trade nodes belonging to other continents, and then either 2 colonies or a colony and a trade company. And that trade company can be, well, anywhere. Yeah, and then in order for manufactories to spawn, globalized trade needs to be present. Thing is, I'm playing in the middle of Central Europe. Or, well, literally around the center of Europe. Very far away from any coastline, and by now it's a bit too late for me to even bother trying to colonize. Unless I want, well, Canada or something. Even then, it won't be. It's not something I can take advantage of anyway, since my position within the trade network makes it extremely difficult for me to take any advantage of colonial trade. Any advantage whatsoever. Stuck in Regency Council. Their only major ally is the Commonwealth. Otherwise, they're allied to a bunch of miners. In fact, that's part of the reason why I'm declaring war on them instead of the Commonwealth. Under this circumstance, normally my plan would be to take on the Commonwealth. However, if I haven't already said so in the video, I mean, it depends. I might have edited that bit out. I don't know. Because my process of editing videos is selecting a set of clips, which I know happen to be decently interesting, and then putting them in. Anyway, the Commonwealth is allied to France, the European superpower. They're second on the list of great powers. The one on first is pretty much China. So, yeah, they're terrifying. Completely and utterly terrifying. Maintain that diplomat, I might need it. Come April, that's probably going to be the time in which I'll go ahead and continue and actually declare the war. Because I want A, for my armies to recover the morale, and B, I'd rather start at the time when there's not that much attrition. Because attrition is painful. Plain and simple. I've only got one claim at the moment. Unless I've already claimed this. Nope. I've only got one claim at the moment. This single province right here. Restrict looting. Oh, the Enlightenment. That's gonna start. Thanks, Lubeck. I hate this. Anyway, in a recent pamphlet that just started circulation, a prominent, and more dangerously, popular philosopher has explained in detail why the war our nation is fighting can be seen as unjust. Obviously, I'm familiar with the political complexity of the situation. The philosopher could cause great harm to the war effort if public opinion was to turn. It's actually fine. It's not in any super prominent provinces. Okay. No, I'm not doing that peace offer. Okay. With a long and winding title in modernized Latin, one of our foremost and brightest thinkers has, after decades of work, published their principal piece. Spanning many volumes and enough complex scientific formula, or philosophical formulations to make anyone's head spin, they have illustrated an impeccable grasp of the world around us. Even if we cannot exactly claim to understand what it all means, it will cement Bohemia's position on the ideological world stage. Wow, okay. Let's take diplomatic. That will get me, well, it will get me 100 points of the thing in my choice, and 10 prestige, and then I will get a bonus, lasts for 10 years, that reduces that type's tech cost by 5%, and that also gives a bonus related to it. I'd rather get an economic benefit rather than a military benefit. Especially since I need Diplo points pretty badly. So I'll take this. 100 Diplo points, gain 10 prestige. And I get plus 5% trader efficiency, and Diplo tax costs 5% less. What a revolutionary view on the development of cultures. Like philosophers shorten the training. I can't afford to lose manpower in the middle of a war. Oh, but now it's enough, so... just enough. However, I better declare war on them soon. If I don't get someone else as a important ally. Wow, there's that many people trying to siege down Vienna. Wien. Paused. There we go. Alright, I think I've done enough to convince them that it is in their interests to let it go now. I won't ask for war operations instead, rather they just leave the cores behind. Also gave me a little bit of prestige. Alright. Nothing particularly important. It's unlocked, so I can just read it out. Rationalism. In the 17th century, the fields of mathematics and philosophy blended together to produce rationalism. In works such as Descartes' Meditations, 1641, philosophers espoused the idea that people had an innately rational nature with common knowledge that could be brought to the fore. This way, they encouraged the use of reason alone to reveal the eternal truths of the universe. In the words of Descartes, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Okay, goldsmith banking. Yeah, rationalism has no effect. Goldsmith banking. Merchants who wanted to store their gold usually turned to the royal mint to safeguard it. When the King of England seized this gold as a forced loan, they began to search around for other options. One popular option was to use the private vaults of goldsmiths, who needed to protect their wares from thieves. The goldsmiths would store gold for some merchants and write promissory notes to others, earning them a profit on the interest and so becoming bankers. Trade efficiency plus 1%. Settler growth plus 2. Enables 2-deckers, which are heavy ships. I don't really need those. Regular pay. Ah, yes. Apparently hourly pay is a technological innovation. Okay, it had to be invented at some point. Anyway. Levied armies and mercenaries both had their limitations. Increasingly, rulers turned to permanent forces, but these troops demanded regular pay, something difficult for most rulers to accomplish. Reforms of the military administration to earn a constant supply of pay for the troops helped reduce desertion among these regulars. Military tactics plus 0.25, lab morale plus 0.3, infantry shock plus 0.25. Well, that would have been useful in the last war, but on the other hand, doesn't. I mean, I'm already decently advanced compared to everyone else. What did I say? Decent. Heavily advanced compared to pretty much everyone else. Most advanced country in the world by a large degree. Ooh! A plan to assemble an army for a future crusade against the Ottoman Empire has backfired badly. The task to recruit and train the troops was given to Georgi Dozva, an experienced veteran from wars against the Turks, but also a soldier of fortune with questionable loyalties. Dozva proceeded to train and equip a huge army drawing from some of the poorest and most disenfranchised parts of Hungarian society. With weapons in hand and a bit of training, these peasants, students, and country priests have turned out to be a lot more eager to turn on their masters in the march against the Turks, and one of the biggest peasant rebellions in the history of our kingdom is now in full swing. Manners are being burned and plundered. Clergymen have been impaled and the government has tortured to death. I could just make Hungary a junior partner. I'll take it. Okay, remove that. I don't need these. Liberty desire 0. Improve relations. Stop building the spy network. Continue prioritizing metalworks over everything else. I'm going to build the biggest steel industry on the planet. In fact, I may already have done that. I have no idea how to measure that, though. Right, let's get going. Although it's already starting to get a bit late in the session, so I won't be able to fight long. Heavily restrict looting. For free. I guess I'll take it. It's free troops. It finally spawned. Global trade finally spawned. And I guess that's a good place to stop it as soon as I figure out where it starts. That's casual literacy. Yeah, I figured. All the way in Portugal. It's gonna be a while before it spits to me. But by that point, I figure it should happen in the next 10, 15 years. And then I can get manufactories in place. Well, it has to be 25 years. Yeah, you need manufacturing, steam power, or steam-powered factory. Urban development, at least 30 units. Yearly 60-50 at least, so in actuality, it can only start spawning at 60. Can't be an island, and the province itself must have a center of production. So manufacturing and center of production. At least 2 of my provinces already fulfill that requirement. I think I can get 3 of them. 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 5 manufactories in place. Well, actually, that's not saying yet. I do need to do a recap. So, Sweden, either integrated or annexed Norway, I don't know which. Hungary is now in personal union with me. And not before I took another piece of Slovakia. I'm now so big that Spain is no longer a valid rival to me. Not much differences in the New World. Or in Africa. I can actually see India now. Interesting. Exploration is looking a little dodgy, though. There's also a little bit more of Iran. Yeah, I think Perm is definitely colonizing. Sweden is definitely colonizing too. Good for them. It does make a nice looking stretchy name. Lubeck attacked Denmark. Quite disgusting. And Hamburg ate Schleswig-Holstein. It must have been a personal union. Wow. I wonder if things are going silly with the Imperial Authority. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.